flower is so gorgeous, right? Well, the vines that come from this plant, this passion fruit vine plant, are horrendously hideous. They will pop up 20 feet away. They will start growing everywhere. You won't be able to control them. And that is what happened to me. I didn't really realize this when I planted those seeds. I just wanted to see if I could get it to germinate, because it's a long germination. And I did, but I regret it now. So in this video, we're going to work on two major problems I've got in this area. One is that passion fruit vine. It's coming out. But the other major issue is that I've had voles tunneling in the left half of that bed. All right, guys, it is time to start. It is February 26th. I'm going to dig out all the dirt from this bed, and then I'm going to lay down some hardwood cloth, because those voles are destroying everything. Everything I tried to plant here last summer, they pulled it out from their little tunnels and they ate it. So we're going to take care of this now, and so that I can grow something here this spring and summer. So I'm moving around all of these leaves on the side of the bed to make sure I didn't leave a tool or something important, because I'm going to bury these leaves with about 3-4 inches of that soil as soon as I get it crunched up a little bit more. I guess I'll let these guys keep going, growing, see how they do, but they could have got too much winter damage. It's too soon to tell. I'm going to leave them for now. Kohlrabi. All right, I just moved the leaves over. You can kind of see they're tunneling already, and I haven't been digging here at all. Yeah. Another big problem. This lovely non-native passion fruit vine, even if it was native, it would be a big problem. Learn from me, do not plant this somewhere near any other garden space. I have vines coming up in this bed. I have vines coming up back there, all through here. It's going to be a real pain in the butt to clean this up. 90% sure this is a passion fruit vine. Oh my goodness. Look at that. You can see how it becomes so invasive so quickly. Okay, this bed's been leveled up with all of the top soil for most of this bed. It's really great soil. It took me 5 years to get it this way. And now that we might be moving, it's making me feel really sad. It was horrible in the beginning, and now it's pretty darn good, so that's sad. Okay, I'm gonna go get carrot seeds. We're just gonna seed this whole section with nothing but carrots, a quick maturing carrot. And then I'm gonna put cardboard down to keep it nice and moist. Carrots do not need light. And got cardboard stuck in my garage. I need to get out anyway, and I think that will be a good way to do it. I keep waiting for the bulls to come out and get me. It's kind of scary. Hey, buddy. You look so cute with the frog. Yeah, okay. From 2022, germination might be kind of low. I'm going to sprinkle this whole pack in this bed. I'd say the front 80%. And then I've got some cardboard. After we wet these, I'll put the cardboard down, wet the cardboard a little bit. Then I'll check on them in about 7-ish, 10 days. All right, got the carrots planted, moistened, cardboard covering the carrots, moistened, some weights so that everything doesn't blow away. And my dog, he loves to tear up cardboard. Yeah, so I have to weight this down. He's already been tearing up quite a bit. And then we're going to move on to that bed. We're going to start moving the soil into my little wheelbarrow here. And then once we get all the dirt out, I'm going to line the bottom with hardware cloth. And then I'm going to move on to cleaning up the raised bed area. There's a lot of leaves. There's a lot of weeds. I'm going to be putting anything I can find that's organic material, that is not diseased or invasive, to fill up this. We're going to do like a little hugelkultur layering so that I don't have to go buy any dirt. Look at those roots. They're strong. They're horrible. Never again. Unfortunately, this is not the first time I've had to dig up my raised beds. The first time I had to do this was when the HOA made me take some of my beds down. And I had to shuffle dirt between all of my raised beds. It was a pain in the butt. So, to put down this hardware cloth, you are supposed to go down about 3 feet. That is pretty deep. And you are supposed to use hardware cloth. But if you look at these pictures, you will see why I made a compromise to use the smallest hole size of chicken wire that I could find. And it does look like someone has a new hole there. This is just since last night. So, definitely still have activity in this bed. Now, do I have holes in this side of the bed as well? Possibly. I'm not going to dig up every single raised bed, guys. I just know I had a severe problem with this bed, so I'm going to take care of it. Now, I also have a problem in that L-shaped raised bed, but my water line runs either right under it or really near beside it. So we're going to have to do a modified plan over there, or just not worry about it. I mean, I don't know. This is kind of overwhelming. But I really don't like these guys in the raised beds. Honestly, if I wasn't still having to deal with this passion fruit vine, like look, here's another big vine coming into the raised bed area. I may just wing it with the voles, but I can't do both. I can't have passion fruit vines coming up in this bed and tunneling. And I know you're like, well, why don't you use a lethal method? And the reason I don't is because, number one, a pet was pets. I did have a cat that passed last March. And I have neighborhood cats that come over. After my cat passed, this one particular neighbor cat has been hanging out in my garden. And one day I came home, pulled up in the driveway, and here he came out of the garden with a chipmunk in his mouth. So, you know, you affect the whole life cycle. If you start killing off one thing with a toxic chemical, it's going to affect something else. So, that's why. Plus, I don't like to kill things. I have a hard time with that. And just barrier method is what I'm going to try. It's probably not going to be that effective because they're everywhere. They were horrible, horrible, horrible last summer. Like, they've tunneled all through everywhere in my yard, but especially my raised beds. If you have any ideas, let me know. Just uncovered another hole. So I think they say to get the hardware cloth, I think it's either a 1/4 or an 1/8 inch for the little square. Maybe it's even 1/16. I'll put it here on the screen. And so you get the hardware cloth, metal, not plastic, not anything that could be easily broken or chewed or degradable. Yeah, so you're going to go down about 3 feet. But honestly, I think 2 feet might be good enough for me because I am starting to get down, I think, to ground level, possibly. I'm going to tell you though, the next time I build a raised bed, I might even do it with in-ground areas, but that would be like almost impossible. But any raised bed area, I'm going to take the time, the next time I build one from scratch, to put down hardware cloth. That is the most important point of this video. Put down hardware cloth and do your research when it comes to invasive plants. Don't think you can control it, because you can't. I always think I can control them, but I can't. So really take your time, do your research. So what's going to happen with this guy? We're going to cut it down there at the base. See the big trunk? It's really strong. I'm actually going to donate this plant. I mean, people actually pay money for these. I've seen them at the nursery last year for $18 a plant. So I'm going to donate it to someone who has the space and the land to let something like this take over and create a beautiful, almost evergreen foliage. Now, it did get a lot of damage this year because we had an unusually cold winter and lots of ice and snow. But normally it stays green in the winter. So I'm going to donate it. I'm going to pull out any loose vine. Like there's some back there I see. There's some way over there. I'm going to keep pulling out all the roots over here. I've seen them even over there on the back side of that fence too. So I'm going to keep going. Then we're going to put down. My piles are growing, but I'm getting tired. I've got a meeting, online meeting, so I need to go inside and get ready for a few minutes and get that computer loaded up, and we will come back to this. I'm honestly getting to the point of being kind of frustrated with it, but I am getting down to the clay just in certain sections. So I'm going to get an edger or a flat shovel, see if I can go straight down on these edges. I'm going to come back out and get some of this more usable soil here that I want more on the top. And then I think I'm about ready to get that hardware cloth, aka chicken wire, laid down. And then I'm going to put some really, really thick cardboard. And then we're going to put in some twigs, weeds, whatever I can find, cleaning up around in the yard. Branches, maybe some cut up log pieces. Invasive plant, invasive roots that will grow offshoots. This is overwhelming. Lesson learned the hard way. Second batch of roots straight into the trash. We're going to call this 36 inches deep. It's probably more like 24, but that's okay. I'm going to go get a nice thick layer of cardboard to put down. And then we'll put the chicken cloth down and then another thick layer of cardboard. Two layers of chicken wire in different directions. Hopefully makes the whole size smaller, but honestly they're kind of lining up in some spots too perfectly. Yeah, I should have bought the hardware cloth and saved myself a lot of bleeding. I hate chicken wire, and I cut my face, cut my hands. Definitely recommend wearing long sleeve clothing and eye protection and gloves. This smells so horrific. So I'm going to start cleaning up over here. I've got plenty of debris in this walkway that can go. I did trim my scab pencils about a week and a half ago. I'm going to go ahead and see about these. Yeah, so a lot of these, this one might be edible. The woody ones, the misshapen ones, I'm going to throw those over there too. Everything's getting buried. Figured that out pretty quick. You can see what happens when you wait too long to harvest your radishes. They split and they get woody and tough. But maybe one or two might be able to eat. Throw these over here. And so this soil has compacted so much over the last couple years that there's now a gap. I'm going to go ahead and take off the third tier here and just store it away. We'll just have two tiers, just like this one here with the cauliflower. And this will be my onion bed now. We've got to cover it, protect it from the squirrels. So, yep, got to get busy. May have to fix this. Most, if not all, of the cauliflowers did not survive the cold weather. This one, though, does have a shot. It doesn't even have a head yet. So I'm going to leave this one. This one has a teeny weeny head. I may leave that to see what happens, but this one's growing, and I might leave that too. I had already pulled the others. It had got a lot of snow and ice and cold weather damage. Brussels still looking okay. We got a lot of cleanup to do. Some of this is from last summer. There's a Heidi Ho. There's another one. Now it could be chipmunks as well. And you know, regardless, the snakes like to go in those tunnels after vermin to eat them. And I really don't like the snakes in the garden either. All right, I think I'm done trying to find stuff to fill this with. I'm going to start backfilling with all of the soil. I have used some of it. Hopefully that's enough to fill it up to the top. Almost to the top. I think I'm going to make it. And we are done. I never, ever, ever want to have to do this again. Don't forget, use some of that mesh, that hardware cloth with a very tiny diameter when you start your raised beds. Always research invasive plants before you plant them. And I think, I don't know, I put down double layer thick cardboard, putting some mulch on top. I'm hoping that will dissuade the vines from sprouting. The good news is after going through all of that soil, did not see any click beetles, wire worms, grubs, weird things, millipedes. It was pretty clean, so I don't know if that's because the voles also eat those things. It's very possible. But here are carrots. I'm going to put more cardboard down, and then I'm going to have to put some heavy stuff up there because Tonto was trying to dig in this bed earlier because of the smell of the compost that I had put down. And then for the voles, I'm just going to have to take my chances. They're just a true nuisance. But I'm going to raise this trellis up probably about 2 inches, maybe 3. Then I will be planting cucumbers back through here. And I think I'll do peppers in this front part of this side of the bed. I will go ahead and sprinkle the same carrot seeds that we used yesterday. And so far this bed is just the carrots, the kohlrabi, which I am going to spray that with BT, but we're supposed to get rain, so I gotta wait. I'm not sure what else we're going to plant here after the carrots, or scattered amongst the carrots, but I think I've got a pretty good plan. Hopeful that this will work. Lesson learned on 2 situations. But all right guys, talk to you soon. I hope you're having a wonderful week.